Good morning, Technosphere. And as you can see, I'm having my morning spliff on my balcony, which will make number 4 son cuss because he's been trying to get me to stop smoking in the house for about... Good morning, Vaneka. He's been trying to get me to stop smoking in the house for 3 months, and I was shit. Sorry, number 3 son. I prostrate myself a bit. Anyway, I'm up this early on a Sunday morning because I'm going to the Buddhist Centre, and I'm very pleased and proud of myself, and I haven't even got there yet. And the sky is blue, and I can see swans. I might have to feed the swans on the way out. I don't know what you're supposed to feed swans. And the thing that's bothering me this morning is I'm a bit worried. I'm very worried, actually. I'm worried about my concern is personified in Greta Thunberg. And but Greta Thunberg is just a symbol of a trend where we seem to be really impressed with young people saying the same stuff that their parents and their grandparents' generations were saying. And for some reason, we think it's more valid coming from a youthful person. And I don't know why this is, but there appears to be some kind of rather unhealthy obsession with young protesters. I mean, did anybody see what happened to the Black Panthers? They were young, and they were protesters. They weren't protesters, they were activists. And they got the shit kicked out of them. And so how come all of a sudden, well, it's not sudden, how come the current trend is that we are having young people speaking at the United Nations? I mean, it's not even like they're saying anything new or anything radical. What they're saying is, for fuck's sake, please stop killing the planet. This is not a new line of thought. Not to me, anyway. In fact, please stop killing the planet is quite an old tune, really, isn't it? And it seems to be very, very unlikely that these young people have motivated themselves to get to the United Nations, because you don't get to talk in the United Nations unless somebody in charge puts you there. And young people are spectacularly easy to manipulate. So it seems to me that what's happened is that the media has latched onto the most vulnerable, i.e. the youngest, of activists, and is punting them out in much the same way that Calvin Klein punts out 12-year-old models selling perfume, looking highly sexualized. And while I'm really glad that there's a large amounts of young people giving a shit about the planet, I'm very suspicious of the media interest in it. And also, I'm slightly disgusted at the ignoration of all the old people who've been saying this shit their whole lives. And it's only because the old people have been saying this shit all their lives that the young people are able to pick up the baton that maybe the old people have dropped now because they're tired and old and suffering from arthritis and have been traumatized by life, and they're not quite so media friendly, are they? Old bags bitching about stuff is not media friendly. However, young girls bitching about stuff is. Unfortunately, media friendly is not going to save the planet. So I'm very worried about Greta, and one, about her motivations and who's behind her, and two, about what might happen to her, because it's not a safe place to be. And she's zipping around the globe, speaking at this place and that place, and hanging out with influential politicians, which is problematic in and of itself. But what I want to know is, who's looking after her? Who is the responsible adult caring for this minor? And well, I'd like to find out that one of her parents was in the wings, or at least an auntie or an older cousin. And I'm going to research this today and possibly feed back to you tomorrow morning, because tomorrow morning I am getting back online with my morning musings, and you will see me online. Possibly I'm trying before you go to work, if you're one of those people that goes to work, and I'm going to attempt to do my morning musing between 7:30 a.m. and 8:30 a.m. Whether that's going to be UK time or Berlin time, I'm not sure. I think it's going to have to be Berlin time. No, if I do 7:30 to 8:30 Berlin time, that's 6:30 to 7:30 UK time. That'll do, innit? Because that's first thing in the morning. And I'm going to do it in the morning while I have my coffee and my spliff, and I'll be sitting here on my balcony because I'm not smoking inside. Oh, we're chanting, says Faneka. No, Faneka, you're chanting between 7:30 and 8:30 London time, but I'm chanting between 8:30 and 9:30 Berlin time, because that's the same time as your 7:30 is my 8:30. So, I can do my live stream at 7:30, which would be your 6:30. So, yes, we are chanting then, and I will have done my live stream before that, so that all the wage slaves can hear me crap on in advance of spending their day making money for somebody else. That might not be a very pleasant prospect, and I will try not to gloat and go ha ha ha, I'm unemployable. I won't do that. And but I will definitely get up in the morning and muse every day, because that's my job now that the universe has put me in Berlin. And Faneka, have a fantastic day. You're the only person that stayed with me. I had 3 people watching, but I was so boring that 2 of them went. So I think that it might be true that in order to find my morning musings entertaining, you have to be my friend and love me, which is probably why I've never had any kind of a success in my performance or media world. Is because if you don't love me, I'm probably a bit crap. See you later on. Nam Myoho Renge Kyo.